I'm Gladys Lockett Wilson. I grew up here in Miccosukee. This is my heart. I will never forget, in 1949, we had one of the biggest tragedies that ever was in Miccosukee, Florida. My father was killed in front of the house, and he left my mother with 9 little children. The youngest was 6 months, and the oldest was 12. But I want you to know the whole community rallied around my mother. No one had anything much, but people would send food with that they gathered on their farms. And the ladies would make us dresses from flour sacks so that we would have clothes to wear. At that time, I was 7 years old. When we went back to school, the teachers knew about our situation. And guess what? We didn't have to pay for lunch money, for lunches at school. They all paid for our lunches, the one that were attending school. And the way that my mother repaid them to the best that she could, we had a farm, chickens, hogs, you name it. She would send eggs and butter to the teachers to let them know how much she appreciated what they were doing. She was trying to raise us the best of her ability.
Right.
She did not want us to get involved with some of the things that she thought maybe some of the other young girls would be involved in. So she did do that for us. And she made sure that we stayed in church most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she took us to school and came back and picked us up also there. My oldest sister started dating at 16, but you know, she was not particular about enter the young men coming around. And plus they thought she was really, really mean and they didn't want to come around. So that made a difference too. But we all are glad she did shelter us, because if she hadn't, we don't know how we'd have ended up.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't do the visiting and with playing, spending the night and different things with other young girls our age. She was a disciplinarian when it came down to schoolwork. We had to make sure, even if we didn't have any assignments to do, she made sure that we had some books in the house to be reading or doing something.
So she really saw the value of education.
She knew that, right. She always did say that she wanted us to be independent young ladies so that we could take care of ourselves and didn't have to rely on a man. That was her motto, independent.
Wow.
And we tried hard to do just that.
Sounds like she was a little ahead of her time. But that's great. So how much did you experience, we've been talking about in some of these interviews, discrimination and things like that. Being sheltered, did you come across much of that, or was it kind of sheltered from you because of how your mother kind of kept some pretty close range on you?
You know, we all gonna face some type of discrimination, no matter where we are.
Right.
But during my time when I was attending Florida A&M University, I'll never forget our professors always would tell us, you all gonna have to be triple qualified, because even though they have predominantly black schools now, that you all will be working in integrated schools, and you're gonna have to be the best of the best. And my FAMU's faculties really pumped that in our head. And it really was the truth, because when I graduated from FAMU, I only taught for 2 years in a predominantly black school. And then when I moved down Sarasota way, the school was predominantly white. I was the only black faculty woman there for 25 years.
Wow.
And we had 2 male black faculty.
For all of that time?
All that time and the enrollment of that school was 3,200.
Wow.
So I, learned how to survive in that situation. And I had really been prepared because I would tell anybody I know I was taught with the best of the best at Florida A&M University.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never forget my first interview at this school, Riverview High School in Sarasota. The first thing that the principal said to me when I walked in for the interview, he said, "You don't seem to be nervous." But I was young. At that time, you don't let that bother you. He said, "Most people seem to be nervous, but you don't seem to be nervous." And I, kind of like smile. He said, "And you know what else?" I said, "What?" He said, "The reason I don't have that many black faculty members around here, because they haven't passed my test." I said, "Oh, what is your test?" He said, "You're going to find out in a few minutes." I said, "Okay." He said, "Now start telling me everything you know about yourself." And his test was to see if I could express myself, to see if I would, we call split verbs. But as I said, I had been taught by the best of the best. And when I finished, he said, "Well, you passed my test and you got the job." So it was some, with the faculty, that some of them felt like I was being treated, a little different from them because they were having problems, I guess, trying to handle the classroom or having problems with the parents and even some of the administrators. And I never did have those problems because I had prepared myself so well. And I know if you just do the right thing and do what you're supposed to do, you will have anything to worry about. So every now and then, they would come and tell me, "They're always down on us, but they're never on you. Is it because they're afraid of the NAACP?" I said, "No, I don't think that's the reason." So, but I would let it go as that. And I want you to know I definitely enjoyed my job. I really did. Out of the 37 years that I taught school, I only had 1 bad year. So that was a record for itself. And on Monday mornings when I would go to work and we would be in the faculty lounge before we go, and everybody would be kind of grouchy and whatever. And I don't know, I had a smile I wear on my face all the time, and they would ask me, "Why are you smiling? It's Monday morning. Why are you smiling?" I said, "Why should I be sad?" And I really did enjoy my work. So when you enjoy your work, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It comes automatically. And to add a little bit to it, I even still enjoy teaching my Sunday school class on Sunday morning.
Seems like teaching is part of your DNA.
Yes, I believe it is.
And I believe that everybody is the better for it.
Yeah.